I am Blood Eyes reporting from Mexico. We are bringing you the latest prophetic breaking news from around the world. People ask me if I am pro-Clinton, or McClain or Obama, but I tell everyone that I don't get into politics, because it's the same beast-controlled opposition. There is nothing that can stop the wheels from turning. Only Christ can stop the New World Order. Let's take a look at the system of the Antichrist, compared to the kingdom of Christ. In Colossians chapter 1 verse 18 we read, Christ is the head of the church, and the Christians throughout history make up the body of Christ. Christ is the head and he is the foundation of the church. This is a system that is purebred from a bloodline of royal priesthood and an eternal kingdom without end. Now let's take a look at the body and system of the Antichrist, with Satan as the head, and those that follow him as his body of the Antichrist. In Daniel chapter 2 verses 26 through 45 we read a great image, with an awesome form. The head was of fine gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet partly of iron and partly of clay. Let's take a closer look at the feet. Genesis chapter 6 verses 1 through 4. The sons of God and the daughters of men. Several suggestions as to who the sons of God were and why the children they had with the daughters of men grew into a race of giants. Genetic science is not a new technology. The human gene has been tampered with in the past, thousands of years before advances in science were discovered. The term sons of God always refers to angels, and in Hebrews chapter 1 verse for angels, even fallen angels can appear in human physical form. Mark chapter 16 verse 5. The Sodomites wanted to have sex with two angels in Genesis chapter 19 verses 1 through 5. The feet or foundation of the Antichrist appears to be a mixture of fallen angel and human mixture, and this is their downfall as described in Daniel chapter 2 verse 34. This is my opinion, and by no means should anyone create a doctrine from my viewpoint. The body of the Antichrist or the New World Order will be destroyed by a great destruction from the Lord. Then the iron, the clay, the bronze, the silver, and the gold were crushed together, and became like chaff from the summer threshing floor. 1 Chronicles chapter 21 verse 18. There is an interesting relationship between the threshing floor and worship. Perhaps there will be some that will come out of that beast and be saved on the threshing floor ground. These prophetic events of the blowing of the shofar in these last days appear to reflect the bowls depicted in the book of Revelation. Let's take a look at the evidence that shadows the type. Revelation chapter 16. 7 angels poured out their bowls of the wrath of God upon the earth. Verse 2. The bowl of judgment, and a foul and loathsome sore came upon the men who had the mark of the beast and those who worship his image. Verse 3. We see the second bowl turns the sea to blood of a dead man, and every living creature in the sea died. The time is running out. In verse 4 we see an angel pouring out his bowl in the rivers and springs of water, and they became blood. All the plagues of Egypt were in the form of the gods they worshipped. The same can be said for Americans and the world. All the gods they worship will be turned into judgment. Why are these plagues visiting the sons of men? Because of the blood of the saints they have shed. The Inquisition of the Catholic Church, where millions of Christians were murdered. Abortion, the shedding of innocent blood. They have shed the blood of the saints and the prophets. Do not touch my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm. NASA is predicting that the solar maximum will happen soon and many will die from overheat exposure. Verse 8. the fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and power was given to him to scorch men with fire. Verse 9. And the men were scorched with great heat. Verse 10. We see the fifth angel pouring out his bowl to cause the kingdom of the Antichrist to become full of darkness. The sun caused great pain with solar flares, and now we see what appears the lack of sunlight to cause great darkness and great pain because of the extreme cold weather. The armies of the Antichrist will make war against God's people, and we can begin to see the beast rising within the United States and around the world. This is why I don't get into politics, because it is run by the Antichrist parties. Jesus said, if you live by the sword, then you die by the sword. It is better to love our enemies than to become like them. This has been another Blood Eye production. Thank you very much, and remember, God is for you. Are you for God?